And we're live.
Yeah, so I've been following the marijuana legalization thing. The Dems keep they're still saying like, yeah, that's on the docket this year. I think that they want to. I think minimum wage is pretty important to them. I think they're trying to get that done. Obviously, the COVID relief bill. I think they might have tagged that along in that. I haven't paid a lot of attention to it. I think maybe it got cut out at the end.
It didn't make it through it.
Parliamentary procedure.
But yeah, marijuana rescheduling or decriminalization or legalization federally is definitely on their docket for the year. I don't know.
I hope they just do it. Like, I hope it's not another string along nonsense, thing.
We'll see. You know, a lot of states are adding medical and or rec this year. I think Missouri's
had medical since 18.
I think they're changing something though, like maybe opening up the medical a little bit more so that
maybe
someone like Taylor here who has a high stress life could get a marijuana card.
Is it easy to get a marijuana card in Missouri now, Taylor? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. I don't know anybody with a marijuana card.
Maybe that implies it's hardish.
So it might be hard. Like, how do you get a medical card in Missouri?
I know Californians who are like, dude, there's like ticket booths with fake doctors in them, and you just walk up and tell them your sniffles or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
epilepsy, glaucoma, intractable migraines that are unresponsive to other treatments.
I've had those for so long.
You can get it, Taylor. I can walk you through the process.
No, it's
but it's a little bit of a process.
It's $25 and like deal with one of these online marijuana doctors and tell them that you have one of these chronic medical conditions that there are no tests for.
$25. Do you think they'll haggle with me?
I don't think they'll haggle with you.
Now the other question,
I can go in. Oh, I only brought a 10.
So there's. I know. What about the dispensary situation, right? Because that matters just as much. If it's kind of not that bad to get a prescription, I don't know what to call it, like the license, if you can't just walk up and get it, if there's no
there's a ton of them popping up, I've noticed. Like just driving around, there's a bunch of them. I don't for the life of me, I don't remember the name of the store, but it says dispensary, and so like it's clearly like a real deal dispensary, not a CBD thing, because we have these other stores called like CBD Kratom, and they just sell CBD and Kratom but nothing else. These ones are like real deal dispensaries, and I haven't seen any that are actually open yet, but I've seen them like under construction and like being set up.
You can always count on two things when a newly stated open abnormally high. It looks like you can have 4 ounces there. You can buy 4 ounces, which is a ton.
A month?
Yeah, I think so. Let me double check that.
See, these people's headaches must be.
If you need more than 4 ounces, you have to drop it off in your car and go back.
I think in Florida, it's something like.
Now, the only rule is you have to smoke every bit we give you. You can't waste it. And it's like, got to get through 4 ounces in a month. You're just comatose.
In Florida, it's like 2 ounce. It's like either an ounce or two every 35 days or something like that. I also saw there's some legislation in Florida right now where the Republicans are trying to limit the amount of THC in their medical marijuana, which seems ridiculous. They're trying to limit flower to 10% THC and concentrate to 60, I think.
What's normal?
The stronger marijuana strains these days, it's not unheard of to see 30% in flower and in the high 80s, low 90s in concentrate. Although 60% concentrate will still knock you on your fucking ass. The question would be that how they legislate it, because I would assume that what they're trying to do is to legislate it by milligrams of THC, and therefore you would be able to get a sort of a smaller amount of this 60 proof, we'll call it, concentrate, because of the milligrams of THC that you would have in that concentrate. But it's looking like that's probably going to fail. Florida's fairly easy to get one. Anxiety is good enough to get a marijuana card in Florida. And I think it's like, as long as you're a Florida resident, or have been for like a month, you can get one. And it's like prices are cheaper than like street prices, like $35 for an eighth or something like that.
You've talked about Colorado being a primary destination. If the country went federal, marijuana is legal, would you open up your boundaries?
No need to move then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like Georgia for reasons in addition to the pot laws.
Meh.
But it has its draws too, Dad, right?
Yeah, I'd probably stay right where I am, or maybe even Athens, Georgia, something like that. If they, which is kind of a party town, lots of lots of colleges there. I don't even know how many universities are in Athens. University of Georgia and Athens Technical, obviously, but there's also like a women's nursing college, and like there's so many students in Athens. Like you drive through like the streets, and there's so many bars. You drive through the streets of Athens at like Friday night, and it's like I don't know. It's so many beautiful women who are like 18 to 25. Just
That's
thousands and thousands of them everywhere.
Chapel Hill. I mean, not during COVID, but Chapel Hill's like that too. Like it's literally the streets are clogged with attractive 19-year-olds. Like it's, I don't know, a basketball game lets out or something. There's tens of thousands of them just in the streets walking back to dorms or something. That's what it's like.
Yeah, I'm gonna go probably go to Colorado. I have considered Vegas because it's got basically the same laws as Colorado with recreational marijuana. But one of those, almost certainly. And I've got I think I've got like 206 days left.
Counting down.
Yeah, like 206 days left or something like that. Who's counting?
Are you thinking at this point it'll probably go that long?
I just got rid of my current legal team, and I'm gonna hire a new one to because I felt like they were just taking too long to get anything at all done to even get me like a no. So I'm gonna see if somebody else can take a whack at it. So again,
right. And I know you didn't want to pester them because every pester is like $500, and
these guys are a little bit cheaper. The criminal defense
team.
guy, he was like $500-$600 an hour. These guys were on the a little bit less than that, like maybe a couple $100 an hour. But for something like this, I feel like I could get $100 an hour fella to like do 6 hours worth of work and get me a yes or no real quick, and that's all I fucking want.
Yeah.
From the research I've done, it just seems like I need to like talk to my probation officer, see if he's in favor with it, and then file a little paperwork, and that should have been it. But
even if it's a no, like even if it's like, no, there's no chance, at least then it's like, all right, I know what to expect. Now it's not hanging over my head.
It might be worth $200 or $600 just to
Certainly
get that locked in.
Yeah, it is to me, because like I've kind of got like that next step of my life real well planned out about like how I'm going to move and where I'm going to move to and what I'm going to do and all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to like moving ahead and getting out of this little rut.
The Democrats should take on the pot thing. I've said that forever. That like I keep doing the same.
They should. It's a popular issue. Everybody's on
dumb
the same page
to go after guns. It loses way more votes than it gets. That's where Republicans were with the whole anti-gay thing. It loses more votes than it gets them. If Democrats just wave the pot flag and said, we're the pot party, we're going to legalize this, I think it gets them a lot more votes than they lose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's got to just be special interests influencing it then, because obviously like they know they would rake in tons and tons of votes from young people in particular if they just went, hey, day one federal marijuana legalization, we're running 1 million commercials about that. And that would be
the problem is you got Biden being anti and Kamala as well. So like that's a big issue.
Fair
enough.
I don't know. Biden's anti. I mean, I saw his platform. It was pretty pro. It's on his website. I read it.
Platform aside, what he said is, he's against marijuana legalization.
It's probably like pharma donation.
Decriminalization doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah,
it's got to be rescheduled completely, made 100% legal for recreational use to really get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure pharmaceutical companies donate a ton. Well, I mean, they donate a ton to Republicans and Democrats, and they would probably take a pretty significant hit.
And Kamala has
from
flipped.
SSRIs and stuff.
Kamala has flipped, flopped, and she's flipped again on the issue.
What?
By the way.
That's crazy.
Because obviously she's infamous for like prosecuting marijuana users in her heyday as whatever she was, Attorney General of California, whatever it was.
Yeah, she's very harsh on the pot
whatever
smokers.
she was. And then during the campaign, she's I'm pro again. And then now as vice president, I'm with the boss.
Yeah.
So
What'd she say? She smoked weed in high school, listening to Tupac, and it was like, yeah, he wasn't making music when you were in high school.
Well, that weed was strong. I don't know.
Yeah, it must have been some real good reefer. That would have been the perfect excuse. Like, oh man, maybe I was so stoned I didn't realize.
What you said, decriminalizing doesn't get you anything. Maybe
No.
I don't understand why that is.
Because there's still no access to marijuana. There's still a black market out there selling weed. They just won't send you to jail for it anymore. They'll write you a ticket. It's turning marijuana into like a speeding offense.
Yep.
It's still a naughty thing. They just won't send you to federal court.
Right. It needs to be not just decriminalized, but legalized for
Yep.
you to be able to get the legal supply.
Because we want a store we can walk into, like in Colorado, and say, I want this, that, and the other, and then walk out of there and then smoke in peace at home.
Every time you walk into a
I didn't get it,
dispensary
but
in
now I do.
Colorado, like I know you feel the same way, Kyle, but you walk in there and like every time you're just like, man, this is so cool. I can't believe this is real. I'm at the weed store.
I wonder if it'll go in steps.
Yeah, it's neat.
Like you've been in this like black market forever with this stuff, and it's like, shh, you've got weed. You know where I get some weed? And everyone's like, yeah, I know where you get some weed. And out there, they're like, hey, do you know where I can get some weed? Yeah, right here at Big Jim's Weed Store. Have an extravaganza. Welcome to Big Blunt Mondays. And it's just like, oh, holy shit, this is a different kind of experience.
I'm just making this up. But like when gay people got allowed into the military, everyone was like, are gays going to be allowed in? Are gays going to be, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? And step one was don't ask, don't tell. So you could kind of be in it, but that to me, there's a parallel between that and decriminalization. And then it took like 10 years later and they went to straight up, well, all right, you can even say you're gay. It's cool now.
Yeah, it was like a needless middle.
Yeah, I wouldn't sneeze at decriminalization. That'd be a huge step forward because it would mean
maybe a half step forward.
Yeah. You know, it's a step forward, decriminalization. It would mean that, like, you know, even if you get caught, you're not going to go to fucking prison now, or you're not going to go to jail. It's not going to be a complication. It's going to be a ticket. And like in places where it is decriminalized like that, even in Florida where they have medical but no rec, a lot of the major cities have decriminalized, and the ticket size is sometimes like $20. Like if they catch you like smoking weed, it's like, aha, slap on the wrist. You owe me 20. And it's like, this joint costs more than 20. Sounds good, dude.
It's only 100% fully illegal in 6 states now. Really? Idaho, Wyoming, Kansas, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Alabama.
That's a bit deceptive because in Georgia, we have medical oil available for people who are already dead. Essentially, like you just like I'm joking.
Like hospice care.
It's hyperbole, but it's like it's literally you have to be like dying of cancer or like so epileptic that you can't even fill out the form or something like that. They'll give you like marijuana oil, but there's no fucking system in place to get that oil legally.
Well, they don't even have Georgia qualified as a medical state for that. Like they still have them in the decriminalized.
Yeah,
I could be out of date, but New Jersey's like that too. Like
not anymore.
Oh, am I out of date? Well, the first step, I do remember this. There was a girl who was like the poster child. She was young, call her like 12. And she had a condition that couldn't be treated any other way. It might have been horrible epilepsy. And if you saw video of it, your heart went out to this poor kid. And her parents are like, the only thing that makes her feel better is pot. We've tried everything, and this is the most effective medicine on earth. And they're like, all right, if you have shaky head 11-year-old disease, you can smoke pot, but nobody else. And it's like, well, thanks.
If your name is,
I think they named a strain after that girl. I think maybe her name was Charlotte. And and they came up with a strain of weed called Charlotte's Web. It's strong as fuck.
Yeah.
Charlotte's on.
I like to think she's the coolest kid in high school now.
Yeah, I have. Charlotte's fucked up.
I do remember that was Charlotte's Web. I don't remember if it was strong or fuck.
Well,
we always just buy what's cheapest.
Fully legal in New Jersey.
Fully legal. Okay.
Yeah, that just happened. I meant to like bring that up last week as a thing. But yeah, I saw that. I've been like keeping my finger on the pulse of marijuana legalization stuff across the country and watching Missouri do its thing. And one of the southern states is like bouncing back and forth. It's where like 71% of the electorate voted for something, but then their like Senate is like trying to push back and like just completely deny the will of the people. It's like 74% of your population wants this, and these fucking shithead senators are trying to like go back in the other direction.
Yeah, Taylor said it's special interest, which is a viable theory. I also wonder if it's partly just out of touch people, right? Like even me in my 40s, like I kind of get it. I understand where the popular will is. I'm more plugged into young people than other guys in my age.
Hot.
But if you're 72 and you're a senator, you might not just get it. Right?
Like, I think they're given information about it though, because they're clued in on, how popular every other stance is. And so like they definitely know, like when like Kyle was saying, like even in southern states saying 71% voted in favor. I saw Missouri 2018, them voting to make it medical here. It won like almost 70%, like 66% said yes. And so like there definitely are special interests.
Counterexample,
mostly
Joe Biden was telling people how to be better parents. And he suggested that they turn off the TV and play a record during homework time. And
he's senile. He doesn't know where he is.
But I would say that his demo, what is he, mid-70s? There's lots of people in the Senate and the House of Representatives who are just as out of touch. Who think that a record player is
God, I'm glad when those fuckers are dead.
That age group is way more against gay stuff than they are against pot. And they rolled through with the gay stuff for fun because there wasn't a huge lobby going against the gay stuff. Like who was against the gay stuff? Like
I want gay people to fuck each other with bongs in the street. Like what is your problem?
Well, let's not have street fucking.
I'm down for the street fucking.
No, I'm worried about the broken glass.
Oh,
I don't care if you're fucking in the street, dancing in the street. It's for driving. No.
Someone sent me a video a couple days ago. The guy's got a really tall bong and he cracks 3 fucking eggs into the bong. And then he burns down like a huge bowl of weed. And without exhaling, he tips the whole bong up and drinks all 3 raw eggs and then goes, and I was like, oh my God.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's so terrible.
Yeah. So gross.
Yeah, no, if you told me that he somehow cooked the eggs in the process, it'd be so cool. If the fire that burned the pot also fried the eggs, I'm impressed with this bong. I like this.
You just need a steel bottom bong, put it on the stove, turn it on, then you just inhale the hottest hit. Imagine through your boiling water.
Superheated air frying your lungs.
Am I high? Yeah. Like, no, you're dying.
So yeah, I've got no faith in Georgia. Decriminalize or legalizing or anything. It's ridiculous. But Florida was also a Republican state, and they've got a pretty legit medical marijuana thing going on down there. And it seems like it's every year we get a couple more states. At this point, it's like 2/3 of the United States population lives in a state where it's available in one way or another.
I just checked. It's on the docket to fully legalize in Missouri in 2022. And I think it's going to pass pretty easily. Number one, like it's popular. And number two, like we're bordering Illinois and Illinois is already fully legal. And like St. Louis is a split city. Like it's in both states. And so like, what are they doing? What are they going to do? Like, you're just going to stop people, the bridge from Missouri to St. Louis over the Mississippi River. You're just going to stop everyone. Like, no, of course not. Like people are already abusing that, guaranteed.
Mexico legalized fully this week. The entire
I can't believe it wasn't already legal.
They are now the world's largest cannabis market.
Yeah, good for them. Man, they got all their pot. They're smoking their pot. They got their full sugar Coke. Having a great time.
They do. Kyle, were there dry towns around you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in a dry town.
Yeah, there are no dry counties around here.
A lot more drunk driving deaths in dry counties. Dry counties is what we have.
Oh, I can imagine why. Like they would have to travel to get their booze.
Yeah, you make them travel across county lines half drunk because they want to get more drunk and more drunk driving deaths. It's one of those things. It's like like some Puritan is out there like, well, that serves them right, drinking that liquor. And anyone with any common sense is like, what are you doing? You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like,
it made sense where I was from. So I lived in a resort town. So they wanted families to go there, and they made it more attractive to people who weren't there for alcohol by having no alcohol, right? So if you bring in your kids to the beach and the boardwalk, Ocean City's your pick. If you're going to a party, then Wildwood or Atlantic City's your pick.
Aren't you not supposed to drink on any beaches? Like everybody does, but like
this is the nighttime. This is so at nighttime, if there's bars and people spilling out of bars and doing whatever, just a very different scene than a place that literally has no bars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been cool growing up by the beach.
I was a big fan.
Very neat.
Yeah.